went through each jungle deep for the paradise that we'd to see. 'Twas no trip for the weak, we're waltzing with the natives. Na 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 na.
Hello everybody, how are we all doing? Welcome back to the Celtic Corner. I'm your host Jamie. I'm joined by my good friend as usual, Corey boy. How you getting on, bro?
What's happening, Jamie boy? What's happening?
Nice to see you, mate, to talk more things Celtic. What's been happening in your life recently? Anything exciting happening before we get into that?
No, not really. Nothing noteworthy, no. What
So,
about yourself?
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I haven't watched it since I mentioned it, to be honest. I watched the most recent Final Destination, just for nostalgic reasons. It still was fucking stupid, but the deaths are gory as fuck. Brilliant,
Yeah,
but
mate. No
it's
matter what
brilliant.
you do. You can't give up in Cubs, mate. You need to let it go. You need to keep going with it, man. It's better and better.
Definitely.
It's funnier and funnier.
Nah, we'll get back to it at some point, definitely.
Definitely, mate, because that's what I do, man. I start something. Then I don't go back to them, man. It's like the amount of TV shows I've started over the years, and I'm sitting there like not even half watched, like a quarter watched. I just
Aye.
don't go back to them, man. It's fucking nuts.
I'm the same. Peaky Blinders, I think I've done 2 series of that. They never went back to it. I'm bad for not ending stuff because I watched Narcos, all the Narcos, and it took me about a year and a half to watch the last episode. I just stopped watching it, and then after I don't know why I'm not going back to that, but here
The
we
ones
are.
just sticking in my mind. I mean, I've enjoyed them too. Like the big one is what was it called? Sons of Anarchy. I started
Uh,
that and watched the first 2 seasons, was loving it, and I just never went back to it. And that was about 5 years ago.
I
Uh,
watched I watched that all in the winter. Well, every single day. I watched a good few episodes. I just
I
pulled
don't know. I
through
think
them.
I just get bored, man. I just like come on something different. You know, even if not, I don't know why I was streaming every single day, but I've been doing that recently with that Law and Order Special Victims Unit. I've been watching that for like about 2 months now or something like that. And even at that, man, I'm literally, I'm not even joking, mate. Like I'm dreaming about fucking solving murders and shit. Honestly, it's nuts, man. Literally during the night, I'm dreaming about how do we catch him? How do it's Metal Man who's like. I think I'm watching far too much. I was saying to the missus the other day, I was like, I need to give this a couple of days rest, man. I can't keep acting as if I'm fucking Columbo here every night.
I'm bad for I just I'm what if it's especially if it's a serious program, I want to have a break and have something funny. But then after I get too involved in whatever it is funny, then I never get back to it. Aye, my missus is the same. She fucking hates every bit of it. She'll be like, "Why didn't I just finish it all?" I'm like, I don't know, just a wee break, kind of balance it out a bit. But hey,
I don't know, man. I'm exactly same. I'm exactly same. No, what's how you comedy in a way. I want to get back to some. Well, I've been watching Peep Show recently.
nah.
And as I said to you, and what the other day, Mummy, fucking hurry, cup of tea, fucking hurry
Fucking
uppy.
happy.
If you've
Brilliant.
not watched Peep Show, people to get that watched. It's hilarious.
Definitely.
But anyway, let's get back to what we're here to talk about, mate, and that's the famous Glasgow Celtic, the greatest club in the world, as we both know. We love
Aye.
talking about them. We love, even though they drive us mental, it's a crazy relationship they've both got with them, you know. And
Aye.
they treat us like absolute ducks sometimes, but we just keep coming back for more.
Aye.
Like this season, for instance, if it was a relationship, I think Warriors would have called time on it. It's, at
You would
some
say
point,
that, but it's addictive. It's addictive.
if it was a real relationship, mate, and we didn't involve like completely in love with him, I think we would have gave it up a few while ago. But aye. So today's talking points are three big players and who's the next
Callum
one?
Osmond. Callum
Callum
Osmond.
Osmond. Callum Osmond. Um, I know we just spoke about it for like 10 minutes before you came on here today. And I just was because of the pressure, you know what I mean? As soon as the lights come on, mate, I'm a wee bit kind of the old nerves kick in. But aye, Callum Osmond, you know, no seen him since. Did they play after the semi final?
Aye, he played in
Since
Europe.
then.
I played in Europe. I think that's when he got his injury.
He got injured in Europe and he's still been making it for a few months now. He looked promising when he came into the team and we were like, have we actually found a striker? But unfortunately, he got injured, and don't think he played a single second under Wilfred Nancy, did he? But,
No, and injured the whole time.
and then obviously Alistair Johnston, who just shows you can't read everything, you can't believe everything you read in the papers, because the Daily Record had Alistair Johnston for the rest of the season when he was away with Canada there, but it's obviously all the nonsense. Martin O'Neill says he thinks he's going to be fit for the semi-final, which is next week. So that's good. And then obviously Arnie Engels, who you say have been in training for a few weeks now, is that right?
I supposedly so. Martin O'Neill said that he was going to come back to training after the international break there. So I don't know if it maybe was his first time properly full training or whatever. But it's good to see the freedom back. To be honest, I think Osmond especially because I know we've got our hopes at Ian Acho staying fit and scoring goals, but if Osmond gets fit and he goes back to what he was before his injury, like you're saying, he was promising, might give us a wee bit more of a boost. We've got another attacking option there.
Aye. I mean, obviously at this point in the proceedings of the league and that, the more positive news we get, the better. And it seems to be over the past kind of week that we've had a wee bit more positive news when it comes to. We spoke about the Green Brigade the other day getting back in. We spoke about Celtic obviously winning at the weekend, Hearts dropping points. Now we've got these three guys back in, which will be three new signings for the club. I mean, there is a wee bit of bad news right enough, and that's like Kobe Donovan looks as if he might be out for a while because he's had a scan. I don't think it's looking good, and I think Anthony Ralston's going to have to step in this weekend, which I'm not too fussed about. I don't know a lot of people are, and they don't rate the guy and stuff. I think he'll do absolutely fine against St Mirren at home. But what's your thoughts on Anthony Ralston coming in for Saturday?
I'm one of the people who doesn't really rate him, to be honest. I just think we could do better, even in the backup option. I get like people can defend him. They can do a job in Scotland, but there is sometimes I feel that he's a wee bit below par, even for teams like St Mirren or Motherwell, with all due respect to them. But hopefully he's got a bit of a kick up the arse a wee bit because he has been dropped and we've spoken about it in the Dundee United game. Hatate played there instead of him, so maybe he's got a wee bit of fire in his belly and maybe he'll kick on a wee bit because, like you said, that every bit of positive news we need. So if he puts a positive performance on and the Mora, then I wouldn't have any complaints.
I think Anthony Ralston's stepped in the past and done okay. I just keep going on about the same point about how I don't believe he's as bad as people make it. I don't believe he's good enough for Celtic. But I don't believe I'm not worried about him coming in at the weekend, for instance. If we were playing in Europe and all that, I'd be like, oh no, this is a problem. But when it comes to Scotland, man, he'll fit in there fine. And hopefully, Martin O'Neill doesn't get in the road of playing Rio Hatate right back, like you say. Ralston didn't come on against Dundee United, but he put Hatate there, which is pretty worrying. If that's what he feels, how low do Anthony Ralston isn't a pecking order. Could he play Rio Hatate right back, Mara?
Yeah, they just I can't think of the train of thought that must have been through Martin O'Neill's head doing the what I'm just going to put Hattati there. I don't get it at all. But I'll just hope Wilson's got that fire in his belly. Maybe to prove Martin O'Neill wrong, maybe prove a few of the doubters like myself and some of the other support wrong and just go out there and put on a good performance. That's all we're asking for, really. Good performances.
The thing is, with Anthony Ralston, mate, I don't think he could ever. I don't think he can prove people wrong. I think people have made their minds up about him and stuff. And I think if he was to
I
get
think
and
so.
play like Baresi or Mora, people would be like, it's one good game, well done, Anthony. You know what I mean? Then they would just be like, he's pissing good.
I think the only thing I could defend him is the season with Ange. I think he was really good then, but I do think it's usually his touch. He's got a touch like a brick wall. Sometimes and I think that's how he gets caught out sometimes, and I think he's a wee bit too rash with his tackling. Which he's a defender, you do expect that, but I do agree with you that there is probably some of the support that just they've written him off already. He could play the next 6 games and be the man of the match in these 6 games, and players will still be like, "Nah, get him out the door." I'll probably win him.
I don't disagree with you, mate, at all, mate. I mean, I am no saying Anthony Nelson's a good player. He's got a lot of weaknesses. You know what I mean? That's
Mm.
particularly going forward. I think he's very, very poor in the final third. I don't think he's very good at crossing the ball in and getting
Mm.
by people and creating opportunities like Johnson does and like Araho done, and even Donovan does. I would say though, I think Anthony Nelson is more defensively sound than Donovan.
Mm.
So
I would say so.
I mean, I'm no. I do agree with you. He's very rash in tackles and stuff, Ralston and that. But I, I just feel I've seen a lot worse, and I just feel like it's
Mm.
criticised a wee bit too much at times for me. But that's just my opinion. But
I think maybe he's just a wee bit too old school. See, like you're saying, he's more defensive minded and stuff like that. Maybe that's why there is a lot of fans like myself who doesn't really rate him, because I feel now left backs and right backs, you need to be good at both. You need to be good in the final third. You need to be good defensively, and it seems like he's only got half of that. So I think that's why people are kind of like, well, we could get better in a way.
I just want to say I don't rate him either. I
No,
don't. I
no,
don't.
no, 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 I know, I know.
I mean, I'm just more in the camp of I've seen a lot worse. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Maybe that's
Mhm.
maybe not the biggest compliment to Anthony Nelson, but like,
You're
like
not great,
even
but you're not
right.
bad.
Well, I mean, I've seen a lot even worse right backs at Celtic. To be honest, I think
Mhm.
like Paul Caddis and Paul Telfer and all that one as good as Ralston. Ralston's done a better job over the years than him. And you look at Ralston as well, man. It's like uh, he's won multiple trophies, man. You know what I mean? He's
Aye,
a
I know,
serial winner,
I know.
which is just mad when you think about it. Considering he's never really kind of held to a first team spot at Celtic for a significant period of time. You're right about the time under Ange that was like his best period at Celtic and stuff. But even at that. When Juranovic was there, Juranovic was playing. When Alistair Johnson came in, Alistair Johnson was playing. So it's like
Aye.
he's never really held down that right back position himself. But I kind of I feel he's been a good servant for Celtic and all that, even though he's not been the best player.
Yeah, no, I can't really argue with the point. I think it's just I'm maybe one of the ones like you said that wrote him off. I just can't get past the fact that I don't believe he is good enough for Celtic. And like you said, you're the same, but you're a wee bit more defend the players. I'm not. I'm more criticise the players.
I don't know. I just think like you think of like bad Celtic centres, full backs. You think of like remember Mo Kamara? You know
Ah,
what I
he was
mean?
terrible.
He
He
was
was
awful,
terrible.
man. He was like really really bad. And remember Tyler Blackett for a wee period of time?
For Man United,
Man, he was the worst player I've ever seen in my life.
he was
I
rotten.
mean, to me, Ralston's like head and shoulders above the guys.
Mm.
But
Aye.
then, Alistair Johnson and Juranovic and that have, shown our Anthony Nelson up the other years because they are proper right backs. So getting on to Alistair Johnson, um, he will be a real asset when he comes back. I'm quite excited about the fact that, maybe seeing him in the right way, who would play that, Yang, two of them gone at fullbacks and stuff like that. Quite excited about that fact coming back.
I feel like Araho was. He obviously he's not going to be at the club anymore due to his injuries and stuff like that. But he was good to help out with the wingers, and I think Alistair Johnson is he's the exact same. He always gives that option. He always goes past the winger, or he's good with the crossing of the ball. And I think defensively he's really good. And like you said previously, that every bit of positivity, like positive news that we've got, we need to just grab it with both hands. And I don't think he'll start the game maybe next week. I think he'll might get a run out on Saturday, and I think maybe he'll get a run out in the semi final as well, just depending. But aye, him coming back's a massive, massive boost for Celtic.
Not just on the pitch now, but off the pitch. He's a very seems like a really positive guy, and he
Mhm,
seems like a
mhm.
bit of a leader. You know what I mean? Like that old cheeky Canadian kind of attitude he's got.
Aye, a wee bit. You've seen him doing a bit of punditry since he's been injured the past couple of weeks, and I do get what you mean with that. He seems like a leader. He talks well. He bigs Celtic up, which is always a good thing to see, especially when it's for the form players. But I bigging Celtic up, bigging the team up. I can see him being some sort of a leader in the dressing room, like just getting the players up for the game, maybe even helping the defence out if they're being a bit ropey, because you do see them on the pitch getting it a bit argy-bargy, and which is obviously it's good to see. He only wants the best for the club. So massive, massive boost, and hopefully he can get himself fit and up and running sharpish.
Definitely. Did you see that clip by all that on Canadian TV talking about his first game against Rangers and stuff like that? Ibrox?
Aye. Nah, he was saying, aye, this is different. He didn't expect the amount of hatred and stuff like that. But he's like, I love it. And I'm like, that's what you need. Players, especially coming in from foreign countries, they need to get it straight away. They need to realise this, like the Derby is a total different rivalry than any other. The Scottish football is totally different than any other league that you're going to play in. You just need to get it, hit the ground running. You might not get the good performances straight away, but see if you just get it. I hate that saying, like players getting it and stuff like that, but they really do need to get it rapidly, or they kind of get fallen by the wayside.
Aye, and I think it was the point he made as well. You know, it was his first game at Celtic against Rangers, and it like gave him the kind of the knowledge to what to expect. Then you know, what I mean, you get flung into the deep end there, literally into the lion's den, man, and you get to know what the club's all about and what the city and the rivalry's all about, man.
Definitely, it's a baptism with fire type thing, like you said, going in there, especially that time of the season. I think it was January, so I imagine the points were close at the time. So, aye, it's a sink or swim moment, definitely starting. I don't know for him, it would give you a big bit of confidence anyway, especially when you know after the game like the type of game it actually is. So I think that's what really kicked him on in his Celtic career. Really being that baptism of fire.
Definitely mate, looking forward to his return. Let's go to the third one, Arnie Engels, who a lot of Celtic fans, including myself, you look at the price tag, you know, £11 million. Has he really lived up to that price tag? I would dare say no. I don't think he really has, to be honest. I think he's been an okay player for Celtic over the last
Mhm.
couple of years. Don't really feel he has fully fulfilled his potential. And then you look at, you know, the last day, was it January? That was January, wasn't it? Well,
January
Nottingham
window.
Forest. Nottingham Forest came in, really, was it a £28 million bid or something like that, was it?
In
And
the 20s anyway, definitely.
it was late 20s, it was like a record, you know what I mean, when Celtic
Mm.
rejected it. And you're thinking, wow, you know what I mean? Obviously, they're seeing something in Army Engels that maybe we're not seeing yet. Maybe they're looking at potential down the years and stuff because you're still a very young man and that. And I do see potential in Army Engels. I do, you know, I've said it before that he tries things that maybe some people don't try. And I think that kind of, at such a young age, that kind of maybe puts Celtic fans off because we like to just see simple passes. We like to see a bit of kind of flair, you know, keeping a hold of the ball, making the correct positions, making the correct passes so that we can score goals, which is completely normal and fine and stuff. But when you're a young guy like him and he's got full of confidence and, you know, he has got that wee bit of class about him, I think that he will try things at this stage that might not come off yet, but will come off in the future. I
Mm.
do believe he will go on and have a really, really good career, but for me, once he gets back in the Celtic team, whether it's tomorrow, next week, or whatever, I think he's still got a wee bit to prove in a Celtic jersey, to be honest.
I think so. I agree with you to an extent. I do agree that he's maybe not fulfilled the £11 million price tag that he's got in his head, but I do feel that see when he's not been playing, there has been something missing in the midfield. The midfield has been away. There's not really been a midfield, and I feel like there's a wee bit more of a structure when he is there. I feel that he's technically sound. He's really good with his passing. His crossing can do a lot of work, but I do feel that he is a good player. I think he's a wee bit too weak. I say that's his biggest flaw. I think he gets pushed off the ball a wee bit too easily. So I think he needs to build up a bit of strength. But I do feel that if he comes back in that Celtic squad, the midfield will be a lot more together, a wee bit more compact. We'll get the passes that we've been kind of crying out for, like the quick passes from defence to the striker, which has been lacking in the past couple of months, maybe since his injury. So I'm a wee bit more excited that Arnie Engels is back than the rest of them, to be perfectly honest.
No, you make a good point, mate. I mean, since he's been out, which has been what was that, a couple of months now,
Aye.
he's not played much, and you can't honestly say that since his absence that any Celtic player has really come in and fulfilled that position. I mean, if
Mm.
Arnie Engels starts tomorrow, you know, would be like fantastic. You know what I mean? Because there's nobody that's come in. Bernardo hasn't done it. Tari hasn't done it. Obviously, Chamberlain hasn't done it. You know, they the three of them have said, right, that's my position now that Arnie Engels is at
Mm.
the team. You still would say McGregor and Megram are the two main central midfielders. So I can't really think of anybody else
Mm.
that stakes a claim. Arnie Engels
No.
walks right back into the team tomorrow if he's fit.
Nah, someone said to me they remind them. Engels reminds them of Joe Ledley, kind of like he doesn't. When he's not in the team, you notice he's not in the team, but when he's in the team, you don't notice him, which is probably a good thing, really. It doesn't sound like a good thing, but he's just doing the basic stuff, getting the simple passes out. I do get what you mean that sometimes he does try the long ball or switch or something like that and it doesn't come off, but you need to try this sort of thing, especially when games are tight or maybe if you're that far ahead, you just wanted to try out a different type of passing or something like that. But I do feel like he's got something. He's definitely has something. What that is, I don't know, and I do think the price tag is a bit of a disturbance to him. And I think it was the same maybe with Adam Eder as well. 9 million, you're expecting 20, 30 goals. He did get 20 goals as a backup, but people just weren't happy with him because they just thought of the price tag more than anything. Instead of just seeing the player, just say if he was a £2-3 million. If Engels was a £2-3 million player, and give him black, what a player we've got.
Aye, I know where you're coming from, definitely. I don't know, you just feel like you're spending that amount of money, don't know, man. You're just expecting that kind
Aye.
of like, an impact player like Jota was, when Jota first came in that. And that's an exciting thing for next season as well, you know what I mean? Jota coming back, obviously, we've not even spoken about him because he has been out all year. So, but, the next manager, they've got a good kind of nucleus of players in their hands when they come in
Mhm.
and stuff like that. But anyway, well, that's for a different show. I'm sure we'll be doing lots of talking about that over the next few weeks and months. But
Definitely.
let's get to tomorrow's game, mate. St Mirren. What can we say about St Mirren this season? They humped us in the cup. They beat us comfortably that day. Stephen Robinson has since moved on to Aberdeen. They've now got McLeish in charge, and you know they have got a couple of results together, mate. Albeit against maybe not the best opposition. I think they did beat Falkirk, which is a great result. Then they beat Aberdeen last week. Aberdeen are in absolute turmoil. But what's your thoughts on the game tomorrow, mate? I want to say we're going to pump them. I want to say we're going to score an early goal, calm down, get two, get three, get four, even get five tomorrow. But
Mhm.
that's my heart talking. My head is saying it's going to be a lot of fucking slog, man.
I'm the same as
What do you
you.
think?
Do feel that we need a big performance. We need the statement performance that we're not going. If we're going out of this title race, we're not going out with a fight type of thing, or this is going to rejuvenate our whole title race aspect, whatever. But I'm in the same agreement. I think if we're going to win, it's going to be by a goal. I think St Mirren, they've every game. I think pretty much this season they've caused us problems. First game of the season, we didn't look comfortable against them. The League Cup, as you mentioned, away game when McGregor had to score in the last minute, he scored a cracking goal. But that was the it made it difficult for us. So I am expecting the exact same for Craig McLeish and the St Mirren players. They like to keep the ball and try to be attacking, and I just hope Celtic have got that answer for them. They've got, I don't know, Ian Actual maybe to come up with a couple of goals again. The midfield to be solid. We need to have every aspect in top form for this performance tomorrow, this game tomorrow.
Definitely, like I say, I hope we get an early goal and let's just go out tomorrow, man, and let's entertain the fans for once. Let's go out and let's have you come up at that stadium tomorrow expecting a one goal fucking, fight, and then actually get to see a team perform and score lots of goals and relax for
Mhm.
once. It's been such a long season. Let's give you Rangers and Hearts something to think about, man. Let's go out and absolutely pump them on. Let's all guns blazing. Do you know what I mean? Let's just say, what's back in the title race. Let's fucking go for it, man. Honestly, I wish I could give the team speech tomorrow.
No, I'm 100% with you. I'm wanting Celtic to go out there and perform like champions. Because that's where they want to be. At the end of the day, they want to be the champions, but they need to go out this game and the next 6 games after it and perform like champions every single game. And hopefully we do get the 2-3-0, 4-0, whatever. But it's just been Celtic this season, and it's kind of hard to get that optimism like fully to get that 3-4-0 because we haven't really had them much this season. But you never know. Tomorrow might be the one to start it off.
Where do you see, if you're from a St Mirren point of view, where do you see our weaknesses? Where would you target?
The midfield. I would say the midfield. I would just if I was St Mirren, and I think Dundee United done it really well. As soon as they got the ball, they ran. They just ran for the midfield, and then after they would find all this space because I feel that our midfield's been woeful for weeks. But I would say that was my main concern anyway. I really want our midfield to be solid, compact, trying to win the ball back, not giving anything away. But I think it just depends on the players. If they need to really show that they're up for it. Like Hitatis, like Bernardo's. Hopefully Engels does get a run out to just see that he's just get his fitness back up. But the players that you mentioned beforehand, they need to be up for it as well. And if they're not, then it might be a bit of a slog. What about you?
And few, I think they're quite a physical team, St Mirren, aren't they? So they might get a bad joy for set pieces and that, mate, because we are pretty
Mm.
weak at set pieces at times and that. You get Liam Scales, who's a pretty decent, actually, defender at, dealing with kind of cross balls and stuff like that. But he is obviously prone to it. I'd maybe try and get to him at his feet, you know what I mean? But then when it comes to like set pieces and that, I think also trusted a bit of bomb scam. Like that we're
Mm.
no a bit unorganised at times when the ball comes into the box and that. Although I've got to say I think we have improved in that kind of area of the pitch since Sinisalos came in. I think he's more
Mhm.
commanding than Casper's been.
Mhm.
He's good at coming out and catching the ball and punching the ball away and kind of making a kind of making a stance in that kind of the position. You know what I mean? Where he's quite demanding and stuff. Of clearing the ball away and that. But I would think maybe that. I think Kieran Tierney, even at that, his position is a bit dodgy at times when it comes to set pieces and balls coming into the box and that. So I think I would, if I was St Mirren's point of view, I'd try and get the ball in the box as much as possible in the air and try and
Mhm.
kind of use Trusty and scale something to think about in the air and stuff. And that would be what I would do. But anyway, what about like from your point of view? Where can we target? What positions do we try and hurt St Mirren tomorrow?
I would say the defence. I think they're quite solid, and I know you're saying they're physical and stuff like that, but I feel like we've got some quick players like if Taneke, Maeda, Yang. See if they're running that defence, I think we might get a bit of a bit of joy out of them. Um, I'm not too sure about cross balls or anything like because I think we're short. We're all short. I think we've only got Trusty who's and Scales who are tall. Everyone else are wee short arses. So I think we just need to get the ball on the ground, quick, fast passing, and maybe even just run at that defence and get a bit of joy.
I agree. I'm interested to see who the starting lineup was tomorrow because obviously the last week he started. Maida on the left, who started Steve Chara up top, and he started Yang on the right. I'm interested to see if that changes tomorrow. I think it will.
Aye, I would happily not see Vian Chara on a Celtic jersey again. I had high hopes for him just because of the build of him. I thought it would be physical. but that seems like that's the only thing he's interested in. The physicality, doesn't care about the ball. There was getting parts of that Dundee game. He was just wanting to tussle, and the ball was right in front of him. I'm like, what are you doing? But any other striker, any other player in that Celtic team would run for that ball, but he'd rather have a tussle with this Dundee defender. And I don't see it with him. Adamu, same with him. He doesn't really have much, so I really hope Iheanacho is fit enough to start the game. We just need to wait and see. And the way I would start it would be Iheanacho up front, and if he gets tired, I put my head on when I start to Netke on the left. That's what
Well,
I
if
would
we
say.
start to connect to your natural and Yang, I'd probably do the same, to be honest. I think he's put time either sits a couple of games out and gets out, you're no there. But like we spoke about earlier in the week, mate, this is where Mark O'Neill, they sit down with you, he does and all that, and say you want to leave, fine, but this is a title race now and we need you for like 6 games. So very interesting.
What I said last time as well, that he needs to go out and prove his worth for a transfer to a bigger club or a better league. You can't just spit the dummy out and hope that you're going to get a good transfer to Germany or Premier League or anything like that. You need to go out there and prove it week in, week out, and he's got 7 games now to prove his worth for that move that he wants away.
Agreed, mate. Agreed. But what's your score prediction for tomorrow anyway?
2-1. I think we're going to. I think we'll do. It'll be 2-1. We'll be comfortable, and I think there'll be a bit of calamity in the last 10-15 minutes, and it'll be a bit shaky. But I do think Celtic will get the job done. What about yourself?
I'm gonna try and do it there. I'm gonna try and do it. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna say we are gonna get that early goal, mate. I think we are gonna kind of put on a bit of a show tomorrow. It's got to the law averages here. You know, the law averages is we're gonna get tomorrow finally and geese St Mirren are doing. I reckon it's gonna be 4-1, mate.
Mm. You just
It's gonna
putting
be
that out in the
4-1.
universe? Putting that out in the
I'm putting
universe?
that out in the universe. But aye, so let's hope that happens tomorrow. Let's hope. Regardless, mate, I'll take a 97th minute winner, a fucking Sinisalo's arse into the back of St Mirren's neck to a coma.
I
I'll take
can't
that
have
tomorrow.
another last minute winner. We've ran a
Well,
lot
I
with
know,
that,
mate.
I think. We've ran a
I
lot
know,
with
mate.
them.
I'll take it though. If you offered me it, then I'd take it. So,
Oh, aye, definitely. But I would want the 3-4-0. And I think if we do start the Iheanacho, I think we've got a better chance of that early goal. Just because he is clinical when he is fit. So I do hope that he'll be fit enough to start the game. Don't know if we'll finish the game, but at least get a couple of goals and get subbed off and job done.
definitely, mate. One thing I like to talk about before we go, mate, is the Celtic Alliance that has been revealed recently. Lord Willie Haughey has come out recently and said that he wants to start the Celtic Alliance, and for every 10,000 season ticket holders that sign up, they'll give £1 million. So, I just want to go into a wee bit of detail about this. I'm going to share a wee article from Seltzer here on the topic. Lord Willie Haughey has now given a more detailed explanation of how he wants the Celtic season ticket alliance to work, and the plan reaches further than just opening up another line of communication. At the most basic level, the idea is straightforward. Start with the season ticket holders. Starts with season ticket holders, sorry. Build a large membership quickly, then use that collective weight to create something the club cannot easily brush aside. Hoy's view is that regular match-going support should be the foundation of it all. The first stage matters because it tells you who this is aimed at. He is not launching it as a loose supporter campaign, open it to everyone from the start. He wants the alliance rooted in the people who are inside the stadium every season, then widen out after that. He said on Go Radio Football Show, "Well, I see the 54,000 fans, that is the core of the club. So that will be the phase one. But you're right, there will be an opportunity for anyone thereafter who's interested to join. either shareholders or even people who are just supporters of the club, who are not season ticket holders, so that will come. That's Hoy's base. The next point is accessibility. He knows this only works if joining it is and is easy and has stripped away the obvious barrier. Fans are not being asked to put money in up front. They ask us to sign up and be counted. He added, if you're a season ticket holder, it doesn't cost you a penny. You just need the email address or the phone number. As I say, we'll go live on the 17th of April to take applications. So Paul McStay is also involved in this, mate. What's your thoughts on this whole Celtic Alliance scenario?
I think it could be good. I think it's needed in a way because I feel that the board I'm really listening to the fans, and I think if this is done properly, Willie Haughey's plan, I think it will give the board a bit of the fear in a way. Just kind of like they can't really do what they think's right. They only answer to the supporters, which is the main blood. The everything about the club is the supporters, and I do think that bring Paul McStay on. Obviously, it's good in a PR aspect because you've got one of the legends, the maestro. But I do hope that it will come good because I do think the fans' voices have been silenced for too long, and they need fans' voices in the board for the main decisions that have been made in the club. And I'll be signing up as soon as the applications are out. Did you say that was the
That was my next
17th?
question. You're going to go for it,
I would say so. You sold me by saying not a penny, so I was like, I'm in. I'm in. Not a penny
aye?
will be getting shared. I'm in.
Just
But
reading a wee bit more about it here. You said if we get 50,000 season ticket holders as members and the diaspora who want to join, I would imagine that the shareholding among them, the combined shareholding will be substantial, maybe as much as 10 or 12% or whatever.
mm,
And maybe, who knows, maybe one day if Dermot Desmond does decide that he's wanting to sell his shares.
mm.
So you see, this is a long-term approach to hopefully the fans owning more, the collective fans owning more shares in the club and having a better say.
Because
Sounds
I
promising,
feel
doesn't it?
I think in Germany it's the rules in the German FA that the fans need to be on the board, and I think that's the correct way to do it because the fans are putting in the money week in week out. Fans are going to the games. Fans are watching the teams. They're buying the memorabilia, all that sort of stuff. They're doing that year in, year out, week in, week out. So I feel that their voices should be heard one way or another. And then I think this is probably the best way possible for them to listen
You need,
because you can't,
you
obviously, the chance of sack the board, but you can't sack a board, unfortunately. So this is the best way possible.
need to read more of this, mate. I think this is right up your street. He finished, I didn't ask for harmony with the board. I was looking for harmony in the stadium. That lifted the team. I'm not doing this so that people can stop having a voice. I'm doing this for the opposite of that.
Because
There we go.
the video I seen, he was saying it's nothing to do with me. I'm putting the money in, but I'm taking a step back. And I also seen with Paul McStay, he's the chair the now, but he says if more and more people are going to be coming in, then they'll elect a chair. Paul McStay is just like the honorary chair, if so to speak, just now. But they'll elect the chair, and that'll be the person who'll go in the board meetings and all that sort of stuff. It does look promising. I really do hope it does come to fruition because, like I said, the fans' voices have been silenced for far too long. Desmond, his son, Brian Wilson, whoever else is on the board, they need to answer the questions that the supporters have, and I think this is the only way they'll be answering the questions.
I think it's quite a no-brainer when he's using language like that. They need a voice, and we'll give them a voice. And it's exactly what the Celtic fans want
Mm.
to hear at this time. And as you say, it's been far, far too long. This has been going on a long time now, but
Mhm.
there's not enough communication between the Celtic
No.
board and the people involved at Celtic and the fans. it's about time that they came out more and tell the fans what was happening. And this looks like a good avenue to do that.
It feels like it's too old school. Like, oh, we'll just trust us. We'll get it sorted. And I think that's helped them because they have. Like, if there's been a disaster season, like the COVID season, the next season we get Ange, but there's been too many incidences this season. They like yous are kind of losing touch a wee bit. Yous aren't doing the best that you can possibly do. They say stuff in the dressing room. It says world class basics, but they're failing the basics of running a football club. They've I think keeping the money. Oh, that'll be perfect. But you need to spend money. You need to get better players in. You need to push the boat out to a certain extent. But they're refusing. That's what it feels like. They're just refusing. They might have their own explanations why, but they're not going to tell us. And this seems like this is the only way they'll be able to explain. This is why we didn't do such and such. So I'm all for it. I'll be signing up next week.
That's a very good place to end, mate. I'm all for it as well. And let's hope it's a wee turning point going forward for Celtic and the Celtic fans. Willie Haughey can hopefully get that sorted. But Corey, thanks very much for joining me, mate.
Always.
It's a real pleasure to talk to you. It's a real pleasure to talk about Celtic. Hopefully we can do the business tomorrow. Hopefully, because we are at that point now where we need other people to maybe do a wee turn as well. Come on, Motherwell. Hopefully a future manager who
Nah.
might be the Motherwell dugout tomorrow might do us a wee turn. And Falkirk, John McGlynn's men, hopefully do a wee turn on Sunday. And, Martin O'Neill's men hopefully turn up tomorrow. Give them the pumping that I'm desiring. And we can have a nice wee discussion on Monday night or whatever it will be about the weekend's action. But everybody, thanks very much for watching. Hit the subscribe button, and as always, hail hail.
Hail, hail.